Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at the SPY, the IWM, the Qs, the DIA, the IYT, the USO, the UUP, and the GLD. We follow the daily, weekly, monthly time frames. We use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. Go to our website, sign up for a free membership, and you'll get more videos like this. You'll get emails when we're posting stuff. We do live streams. You'll get an email before that. And we're doing some other stuff too, some trade alerts, some education. It's cool stuff. Sign up. It's a free membership, StockBookie.com. All right, let's go to the daily SPY. And you know what? God, we've been talking about this 20 MA. Now we've been talking about this lower trend line. We came right down to it, popped it right back up. We had a gap to fill too. And it looks like we closed right on top of it. It looks, I'd have to do the measurements, but we did fill the gap today. Came down, bounced, still nothing wrong, above all the MAs. Still fighting here. One thing that a little bit worries me though, and if we got above this trend line, came around, we came right back in. So this thing needs to pop right back up, and then I'm thinking higher prices. If we don't get that and it's having some trouble, we do have a gap fill coming here, then it could possibly turn down. So again, if you're bullish, you need to get above these pivot highs here, get above the 230 and then the 232 area to, 232, 31 up in here somewhere. And it needs to get going here, 235, 236, maybe 240 if it really starts to rock. Remember, this is a pretty good bullish pattern here. We are still above the 20 MA, so you have to respect that. And if you're bearish, you need to get back below the 20 and crack this trend line. Once you do that, I think you'll come back down maybe to this lower pivot, 222, and then I would still think we'd have to come down here around 220 and at least fill the gap. And then maybe a pop back up, but we'll have to see how that one works out. You still have the 200 moving average down here around 215 and the 618 and the 750, and you're kind of in this big channel here, which connects the lows. So you're kind of channeling up and down. Let's see if we hit this one and then come back in, or do we break through it? Like I said, if you're bearish, you need to get below those again. Weekly chart, we'll look at those towards the end of the week. So let's get right to the IWM. IWM, you're back below the trend line here. Pretty good sell-off today. IWM was coming in pretty nice. It was $1.90 down, or 1.4%. So, but this big green bar, the low held. So when it came back in, we had the 50 MA. Let me zoom up a little more. You had the 50 MA, the 618. You filled the gap down here. So you had a lot of support. So, but we still closed below the MAs. We'll keep an eye on it. Let's see if we go sideways here and back into the, and then the 20 MA holds it down, and then we start coming back in. We do have a trend line up here. Let's see if we could get past that again. Let's see if they could pop that up, and that's just the highs connecting all this stuff. Let me draw it in a little bit. So we popped above. Look at that, boom, right back down. Kind of like the SPY, we started going. Remember, it says like, all right, we got a break. I want to see a little more upside, and then I'll maybe believe it. Turn it around and boom, because some longs hopped on there like, oh, it's breaking out, and then boom, 3 days in a row. So keep an eye on that, guys, too. The weekly, like again, just like the SPY, we'll look at it towards the end of the week, see what's going on here. The Qs. The Q, same thing. We got right up to this upper trend line, the 125 even number, and boom, we're right back below it. It did close below this green candle. I mean, it's like barely, but you have to just say, hey, you know what? Did we fill the gap today? Look at that, filled the gap. Almost, that would have been a good trade. But fills the gap, pops back up. Let's see how we set up tomorrow. Do we gap down again and start going lower? If you're long, you need to get above this trend line. If you want to go short, you need to get back, attack this 20 MA, then start, just coming down here. You have some support. You have a lot of support coming in. If we put a Fibonacci in here, let's do that real quick. It'll be a smaller one. Let's see where the first is. It 5. Almost a 250 retrace here too, but it did fill the gap, pop back up. But yeah, you have some good support down here. Good resistance up here with this upper trend line, so we'll see what happens with this one. But still okay, above the MAs down here. The 20, the 50, and the 200, and no problems with this chart. Let's wait for pattern. But it did, we started popping up, and then boom, right back down. Got to keep an eye on that as well. DIA 122.65 down. It did hit the 20 MA, and it stopped again. Boom, came in. Still no problems. We did get above the all-time high though, remember, and then we turned back around, came right back in. So now we closed below this, a little pivot here, and we did fill the gap. So let's see if we move down or we gap down. Then I'd expect lower prices to come. If you're bullish, you need to get back above these all-time highs and start rolling again. That's how this has to work here. So let's go back. This is the old all-time high was right in this area here. And boom, we're back below it. So let's see if we hold on here. Tomorrow will be a new day. We're only into the first day of the week, so let's see what happens. And again, nothing wrong. Still above the 20 and the 50 and the 200. Let's look at the IYT. IYT down 1.33%. Nothing crazy, but it came again. This was like, wow, okay, we're setting up slightly bullish, starts to go up, moves into double top, and boom, boom, right back down. So we had 2 nice days popping off a double top. We're still above the 20, 50, and the 200, so we're still in a strong stance. If you're bullish, you need to get above the all-time high and keep it rolling. I'm thinking 175, possibly higher. If you're bearish, you want to get back below the 20 and the 50 MA, cross this area here around the 160, 192 or so. Then I think, you got a gap fill down here around 154, but ultimately I think we could get down here around 150. 150, 147, 200 MA, depending where that is as it's curling up as this thing stays up here. So let's keep an eye on that. But we're a little long in the tooth here. They are kind of just, I think it's classic distribution in my opinion. But go for the all-time high again. It gets rejected. It's got to start, consolidating. The MAs come in and then maybe pops it higher. We'll have to see in the next week or two. Let's see here. IYT, USO. USO still above the trend line here, nothing wrong. Staying in between the 20 and the 50 MA here, kind of chopping around, slightly down, sideways action, a little bit bearish, but still bullish. If you're still bullish here, you need to get back above the 20. We've been talking about that. It needs to make a run for the 12 and then get above this area, attack this area somewhere in here. If you're bearish, you need to keep consolidating in this manner, and then boom, the 50 MA is going to end up eventually curl with the 20 MA coming down, and that could possibly push this down. You still have great support down in here around the $11 area. But if that breaks, then you got a gap fill down in here, as well as the 618 and the trend line, upsloping trend line. So, and that's around 1050. So if it gets past there, then you're probably going to go to $10, and there's a gap fill still down here around 988. So you got to watch for that. So again, if you're bullish, you need to get above the 12. If you're bearish, you need to get below the MAs, and then we'll figure out where this thing's going. But most likely this will be your first area, right around the 1044, 1050 area. All right, let's go to the UUP. UUP was actually down today, and so was oil, so it was a little disconnected here. We're starting to kiss this trend line again. We closed right on top of it, so so this is slightly becoming bearish now. So let's see if the 20 MA comes in, curls it down, and shoots it down in here. If you want to go long the dollar, it comes down here around 25 bucks. You could probably do something, start to get interested in this one here. You have the trend line down there as well. It could pierce it, maybe go to 25 bucks. So just beware. Let's see how this thing sets up, or is this just kind of just chopping around, waiting for the next leg up slightly. You know what? Let's go on the weekly. Just want to see what's on the weekly. I think it's still okay. Yeah, it's all right. It's not the best. You got actually a little head and shoulder. If this thing pops up one more time, it comes in. You almost have a head and shoulder pattern here. Head and shoulder, little pivot top. So if that happens, gosh, we're probably going right back to here. So that would be interesting. So the dollar, though, nothing wrong right now. Still above the MAs, kind of chopping around on the daily. You just have to let it go and let's see what happens. Then in the gold was up 48 cents today. Still just kind of chopping around up here on the weekly. It's the first day of the week, so not too much to look at. But here we are. We're still back above the 20. So see if we can hold up. If we start moving up, then you got to look towards the 116.16 area. We got to get above that, and then boom, I think we're going to 118, and then somewhere in here around 120.76, 122 area. Man, and if it really starts to rumble, I'd love to see 125 up in this area. So, but if you're long from 108, you get to 125, you got to take something off the table here. Even here, if you're lucky enough to get down here at the 107.63, 108 area, even down at the lows here at 107.17, that's a heck of a move. Even to 115, yeah, I'll take that all day long. So got to respect it. It's above the MAs here. Let's see if we can stay above. If it does keep chopping around here, we're probably setting up for possible higher prices. If you're bearish gold, then you want to look at it close below the 20 and the 50 MA. Then you have a gap to fill here, gap to fill there, and ultimately you have a trend line, and then the 106 area, and then you have 105, 101.49, and then right around the 100 even number area. So if this thing comes back in, so we still have areas to buy down here, and if it goes up, we have areas to sell up here. That's how we roll here. So weekly chart, we'll get into that towards the end of the week or if on Friday. All right, guys, I just want to say I thank you for watching my videos. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully I'm showing you guys a couple things here and how to take the right size positions, spread them around, a little bit here, a little bit there, then take them off. When you have a winner, you take them off, guys. You know, no more than 10% total, 10% of your total portfolio in one position. That's just the way it is. And you just spread them around, and each and every day you pull some off or make some trades or what have you. We do have a bunch of trades on Twitter, guys. You can follow me there. And we have probably about 70 trades out there. Some are underwater, some are really underwater. But if you follow my system and no more than 10% of your total portfolio in any position, no puts right now. You could probably dabble in puts a little tiny bit, but small positions. You know what? You make 100 here, 300 there, you pull it off and say, thank you very much. Do not sit around in puts right now. So my big thing is spread them apart. But with all my trades on Twitter, maybe around 70 of them or so, each and every day I'm pulling some off. I pulled off 3 off today, and just keep doing it one at a time, one at a time. Next thing you know, I have 35 that I pulled off and then 70 on the back end. So follow me on Twitter. Go to StockTwits for more intraday action. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, then also sign up for my website, and then you'll get everything on there, StockBookie.com. All right, guys, thanks a lot for coming and checking me out, and hopefully you have a great night, and let's see what these markets give us the next couple days. It'll be really interesting with what is going on politically. So remember, follow Trump because he's bound to do something with biotechs, possibly the car companies, anything, you know, going up or down. But just be aware of what this guy is doing. It could help in a trade, you know, down the road. So, all right, guys, thanks a lot for watching. God bless. See you on the charts.